Growing up again with these strong women in my life, and I think strong stories, and then also, if we think about both material and immaterial, for us, in terms of our spiritual practices, many of the major figures are women. So it's like even the immaterial world for you is defined by women. So I think, in terms of my own politicization, I often, at least when I talk with my students, I often think about a story where I got kicked out of kindergarten on my first day of school for something really silly. And I think this is when I think, okay, I'm in a really different space now, where it was pouring rain out. All the kids were outside of the school building. The front door was locked. And I went back, and everybody's like, it's cold, and it's probably September. And my mom was waiting in the car because it was raining. And so I went back into the car thinking, well, I'll just wait in the car. And she's like, what are you doing? And I said, I don't know, it's raining. She's like, well, is the door locked? And I said, I don't know, nobody checked. And she goes, well, go open the door and go in school. And so I went back, and the door was open. So, and there was like a little coat room. So I was like, hey, come on in, everybody come on in. And come out of the rain. So then all the kids were in this. Well, I still don't know what happened to the teacher, but when she came in and she saw us all came in, she just started screaming at us like, "You're not supposed to open the door. You're not supposed to come. Oh, open the. Who told you could come in?" And of course, all the kids like turn around, they look at me, and they point fingers at me, and she's like, I don't remember what the situation was, but she was like, for insurance purposes, I mean, we're fine.
I know.
And she was just like, and then I was not happy about it because I was not used to getting yelled at. So I'm sure I said some choice things. And then, so already she didn't like me. And then within the first hour, we were also doing various, it was during free time. And this is back in when would I have been in kindergarten? In the 70s, I guess.
And where in the U.S.?
Hartford, Connecticut. And she literally had a box of toys for the young boys to play with, and a box of toys for the young girls to play with. They didn't imagine what was in both. So I wanted to play with just a wooden train something in the boys' box, and I got yelled at again, and then she was just like, I don't think you're ready for kindergarten. And she said, And even then, it didn't occur to me this was all really bad in a sense. I was just like, oh, well, I guess I'm not ready for kindergarten, because I didn't know what kindergarten was. Whatever it is, I don't want to be here anyway. And then that just became a struggle, a site of struggle for all of us, in the sense that we didn't realize school was a site of struggle, but it clearly was. And it was unceasing after that. So I think, and I, at times I went in and out, I dropped out, I went back in, whatever. It was always a struggle. And I think through that I learned a lot about the world, and that change needs to happen. And change happens in a variety of ways, and sometimes adults are supportive, sometimes they're not. Most of the time I think kids, in my opinion, kind of had their finger on justice much more than adults did, but didn't have the agency or power to do it. And then I think those formative experiences led me in various ways as I went through my education to kind of figure out, to then go back and figure out what was that really all about, what that was happening. I didn't have a language to understand it.